Hi. In this slide, these are just a couple of guidelines for how you might start to have discussions to really get a fix on what are the sub-elements of our culture, and don't expect to have any crystal clear, high focused if you've never done this before. In fact, you won't have much overlap at all. It'll be all sort of just vague, general industry think. But anyway, this is the approach you might take. First of all, you could say we could do some anonymous surveys, and/or we can start having some open discussions about, what comes to mind about our company when we think about the different culture elements that Bruce has just gone through. Maybe we might say, well, forget the mission and values thing. We're Boy Scouts, and it's all good. So if you think about, well, what stories do I find myself telling the employees over and over again about who we are, what we stand for, why we do things a certain way, just start brainstorming, writing stuff down. You can also look at what are called artifacts. These are from an anthropological viewpoint. If we go to old caves and we look at the drawings in the caves and the tools they were using, these are emergent objects out of what they could do at the time and what they did with these tools at the time and how they survived. So we can say, well, we have this catalog we put out all the time, and it's all about our suppliers and our supply lines, etc. We have nothing about our number one niche of customers and service value equation for those. We don't have any of that stuff. It's all 100-year-old product push volume, product information kind of stuff. If you said, what is the language that's peculiar, not just to our industry? So if we are in, a given industry of food ingredients or lumber or heating, air conditioning or steel, there obviously there's this nomenclature that we use to describe all the types and categories of products and engineering performance, whatever. That's industry jargon. But within our company, we have our own little acronyms and terms and so forth. It's kind of like sitting on a shuttle bus to the airport, to the hotel with a bunch of flight attendants, and they're all talking about what they're doing to scam the system and get, most hours and get these days off. They have their own language. It's you need translators sort of say, what are they really talking about? So that's peculiar to their world and their company. Another key sort of artifact would be our key performance indicators and our incentive plans. Where did these things come from? What do they say about it? What are they entitling or allowing or not? So what are they revealing about our culture? If, for example, historically we've always said, well, we wanted salesmen to be on commission and we pay some sort of percent of margin dollar. Well, does that mean that the salesman can sit on potential? In other words, they all have equal share of all the customers they call on? Does it mean that they can harvest their accounts towards the end as they, I guess so, right? How do we, give the customer what they want? If they want a supply chain solution, how do we put a whole team on there? If that's what it takes, if the salesman's supposed to be the exclusive person who represents and does all for the company at that account. So we have to look at these elements and sort of then that's the tip of the iceberg. We have to say why, what's underlying these things. And don't think that you're going to come up with instant answers right away. I mean, sometimes you say, well, what about this? And you have to say, that's a good question, and I don't know. So why don't we write that down, and we'll all think about it and chat around and, talk to other people and so forth, and we'll come back and revisit it, and we'll live with it, and then eventually into it, and some answer will start to emerge. A big one is just looking at all of our unspoken, typically, that's as opposed to spoken, strategic success assumptions for how we run this business. And we have to ask, are they life cycle appropriate? Are we lagging? What's the change in the industry, more or less? And that's what the entire number 2 playlist in my YouTube project is all about, which is most people are still in a product-centric, ram and jam it, promote it, quote it, get more volume kind of to any and everybody with a standard service model. Now, I've put down here a little footnote. If you go to my website, and click on exhibits and go to exhibits 45 to 53, that is an entire laundry list of what I call fast growth management guidelines, success assumptions, if you will, for how to run a high performance distribution environment. And there'll be no shortage of conversation starters there saying, oh, Bruce suggests this. Do we believe it or not? Do we do it or not? How do we know? How do we measure? What are we settling for on the grid, the Blake Mouton grid? Are we at 2-2? Are we at force 2? Are we at 10-10? How do we move, towards this 10-10 grid? So we can use that to always say, fine, let's talk about it, but, it's gut level, time. Where are we on the map? And see if you can get some consensus of where you are on the map on that particular topic or question. And then another little vision tool that'll help sort of continue to steer your conversation along, or how do we ultimately pass the 2 Wally tests? And we'll look at the Wally test next. So those are some ideas to get your conversation going about deciding, well, what is the state of our current culture? Thank you.